What's up everyone, Kriddle here, and I've been streaming and playing this game a bunch, and I've got a lot of questions from people asking how do you steal and how does stealth work in Baldur's Gate 3. So I was going to do a quick video on how that works. First thing you need to know is how to go hide in this game. So to hide, you're going to hit C on your mouse and keyboard, which will put you into hiding, and C will take you out of hiding. If you're using a controller, you're going to hit R1 or your right bumper. That's going to bring up this menu right here, and then you're going to hit R two more times, and you're going to go here and choose hide, and you're going to say hide. That's going to put you into hiding, which you will see right over here that you have your character hiding. This thing right next to it means that you're in a clear area. If it's a full sun, you're kind of out in the middle of in the open. If it's a half sun, that means you're lightly obscured, and if it's like a moon looking or completely dark, it means that you are fully obscured and things won't be able to see you if they turn and see you. So speaking of seeing people, this area right here that is red, this guy right here is looking in this direction, and you can see that this is all this is red, and then over here is red, but behind this pillar isn't red. So his line of sight is basically that area here and this area over here, but you could be standing back here and hiding. But if I were to walk into this red here or walk into this red down here, someone will see me and say, hey, why are you skulking about? What's going on? And it'll take my hiding off. So the next thing is, how do you actually steal things? So there's two different ways to steal things. One is going into containers. If you go over a container like this and it has a red treasure chest and a red outline, that means that you will be stealing from that or getting into something that somebody doesn't want you to get into. So you're not necessarily stealing if I were to go and open up this vase, but they don't want me to go into that vase, so they're going to say something. So if I were to walk up here to this guy's not going to say anything to me. He doesn't care. But as soon as I click on that, he will then turn and be like, hey, what are you doing? And he will lose attitude towards me. So that means basically my reputation in this area or towards that NPC, depending on where you are, will go down. And if your attitude gets so low, they might attack you. That's basically how it works. If they're already hostile to you and they see you doing it, they're just going to attack you. So you could walk up and just open up this vase right here. If there's anything in it, then you could try to take that out if he doesn't see you. But if he does see you, he's going to lose that attitude. Now, if you were to actually sneak up to it like this and open it, you could actually get it open, and then he's going to turn and be like, hey, don't do that. And it'll leave the vase open, and you can take items out of it at that point if you want to, and no one will say anything. It's the only part of stealing as far as containers are concerned is the initial opening of the container. Once you have it open, if it's open and they don't see you open it, then you can take stuff out of it. However, if I were to go and click on this and open it, it would open up the container over here. So there'd be like a little, vase thing, and he would be like, hey, what are you doing? And then after that little dialogue that he does, I'll be able to take stuff out of it. But then if I try to go open up another one of these, he won't let me do it. He'll just turn and be like, hey, stop doing that. And it won't actually open the vase. So just be aware of that. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't work, but your best bet is to just not be seen by them. The other way of stealing is by going into crouch mode, and you can walk up to somebody and click on them like this, and it'll say pickpocket. If you're in normal mode, where you're just walking around, you'll try to have a conversation with them. So you do have to be in the hiding mode, which is crouch mode, and you're going to pickpocket. We're going to use this guy as an example because he's always looking away, so it's easy to kind of talk about. So as you choose an item here, you can say, I want to choose this item that I want to steal, and it's going to be this roll is what I have to get on a d20. You can see that it's going to be a d20 roll plus my 2 dexterity. I don't actually have sleight of hand on this character, so I only get the +2 for my dexterity. If I had sleight of hand, you would also see sleight of hand on there, or any other bonuses from items or whatever that may give you a bonus to your roll here. So that's what I have to get. And if you look right over here, you'll see like the little D20 dice and then this white line that goes around. This white line is kind of like your chance of getting it. It's almost 75% full. So I have almost a 75% chance to steal that. If I were to say choose something different like this right here, it goes 14, and you can see how that white line only goes down to here now. So that means that I have a much less chance of stealing this than I do of this. So that's kind of like a way to say it's percentage based versus this right here, which is an actual number. So you can kind of see what your chances are, your percentage based over here by rolling the die. So where do they get this number from? That number comes from two factors. The first factor is the value of the item. So you can see this value is 5. And if I were to click down here on this shirt, that's a value of 130. So you can see that it goes up significantly for that. This one right here is 200. It goes up a little bit more because it's 200 versus the 130. But if I click over here on this 40, it goes back down quite a bit. But you can see that something that is worth 5 is only a 7. Something that is worth 40 is an 11. Something is worth 130 goes up to 15, and something that is worth 200 is worth 18. So that's the first factor on where, and the main factor on where that die roll comes from. The other factor is weight. So if you can see this right here, this potion is worth 40, right? So it's going to be a 10 roll because it's a potion. It's worth 40 gold. This chest armor right here, this leather armor, is also worth 40 gold. But if I were to click on it, it goes up to an 11. So it's the same value, but this one weighs quite a bit more. And because of the weight, it's adding in a little bit more to that difficulty because it's going to be a little harder to do. So that's basically, how you know what's going to be easier and why it's easier or harder to steal. So you want to steal items that are worth less, but also way less if you can. Like trying to steal this gold right here is worth 352 gold. I click on that, it becomes an 18. Notice that that is the same as this right here, which is also an 18, but this is only worth 200 gold. And the weight on it is 17 versus the weight over here, which is 0.35. So that's why those are similar, is because this is worth a lot more, but this weighs a good bit more. So that's why those are similar numbers. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's see if we can find an item here. This is a 7. We're just going to steal this for an example. And I'm going to kind of do this quickly because of how the mechanics work. So all you have to do is once you choose an item, we're going to say we're going to steal this dagger root. I have a pretty good chance of stealing it. I only have to roll a 5 because I'm going to have +2 for my dexterity. So I only have to roll a 5 out of a d20. So we're going to try to do that and see what we get. It's going to roll right here and tell you if you're successful or not. So we'll roll it. Boom, I'm successful. I'm going to close that and I'm going to immediately walk away. Here's why I'm going to walk away. I'm going to get as far as I can, and then I'm going to kind of run off over here and see how he's saying, huh? Pickpocket? He's looking for that pickpocket. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to stand here for a second. And then who would do something like this? So he is looking to see if he can find the pickpocket, right? He's going to look around for him. If he finds you during this time, he'll be like, hey, thief, and he'll confront you. And then you'll have a couple of options. You can return the item, you can bribe him, and you can attack. If you return the item, you usually don't lose anything, usually. You just give it back to them and they say, hey, you've been warned. And then they're going to be watching out for you more, and it's going to be a bigger punishment later on if you choose to continue to steal from the same people or the same person or whatever, the same group of people. If you bribe him, the bribe might work and it might not work. The bribe is a set amount, it seems like, across the board. I've never seen anything over or under 50 gold. So you can bribe somebody 50 gold. If you bribe them, they might say, okay, I'll take your bribe and walk away. No harm, no foul. Or they might say, nope, you tried to bribe me. Now I'm going to attack you. So you're going to be very careful with that if you have bribe as an option. The third option is simply to attack them and fight them. In this case, if you were to attack and fight anybody in this little town right here, everyone is going to attack you, so you don't want to do that. Now, as you can see, he has stopped looking for you, so you can come back over here at this point. He has no idea who stole from him. He's no longer cares about it. He's done. I can now talk to this guy since he's a vendor, and I can say I'm selling. And I could go right here to the items that I stole from him. Where are they? Oh, wait, what was it? It was a dagger root. So the dagger root worth 2 gold. I can say boom, and I can sell it right back to him for 2 gold. Do that, and boom. He doesn't even know. He has no idea that I stole from him. I can then walk away clean and no problems. You can then go back up here and if you wanted to, steal from him again and keep doing that. Now, if he sees you, It's kind of like the same thing as if you stole from him and you walk away. It does give you that time to walk away if you are successful, but if you don't walk away, he will confront you and be like, you stole from me, because you're right there next to him. The suspicion is on you. But if you steal from him and let's say you fail this roll, he will then give you the opportunity to either give it back usually, or a bribe, or something along those lines. So let's say we are trying to steal. We're going to do something very tough and try to steal this. We will probably not succeed in this. So he got a -5. My sleight of hand failed. And now I'm being arrested. So I can either go to prison, right? Or I can bribe him the 50 gold that I was telling you about before, or I can just attack him. So this case, because he caught me red-handed, I can't give the item back. But the other way, you can actually have a chance to return the item if they didn't catch you stealing it. So you can kind of say, hey, I didn't really steal it. You know, I got it from somebody else who stole it. Here, you can have it back. And that's kind of how that works. So in this case, I'm just going to say bribe. We'll see what he does. He'll probably say, no, I don't want to take your bribe, or yes, I will take your bribe. So that caused offense and violence it is, and it just goes into the attack. Or I could say go to jail. So now we can say, okay, well, fine. Hey, you're going to attack me. Let's go to jail. So you go to jail and he takes you into the jail, and you have to figure out how to escape the jail. In this case, you would have to, figure out, how am I going to get out of here? And then once you get out of here, are they going to then, stop you or whatever? So you're currently in the makeshift jail, which you can get out of here pretty easily by coming right down here and coming right back up. But now your attitude towards that whole area and that NPC in particular are going to be lower. So you have to be more careful in the future as you're trying to steal stuff. Hopefully that helps. If it does, please like, subscribe, follow, all the fun stuff, and see you all next time. Bye.